Agents heard that eXp acquired NextHome and assumed it was just another big brokerage swallowing a smaller one. It isn't. The parent company changed its ticker and its entire business model on the same day. So whether you're an eXp agent, a NextHome agent, or you're sitting on the fence trying to decide between the two, you need to know what this deal actually changes for your business and what it doesn't. There's also a piece of this deal that has almost nothing to do with NextHome. It's about the fight in the industry that the new parent company publicly took a side in. I'll come back to that towards the end of this video. So let's get to it. What actually happened? When a public brokerage acquires another brokerage and changes its own name the same week, okay, it's just the ticker name, not the name of the company. Well, anyway, the headline isn't the deal. It's the new business model. On May 7th, 2026, eXp World Holdings acquired NextHome. The next morning, the parent company started trading on the NASDAQ, no longer under EXPI, but now under AGNT or agent. Financial terms weren't disclosed, but eXp said it used cash on hand. Here's what stayed in place. NextHome keeps its brand, its franchise model, and its leadership team. James Dwiggins moved from co-CEO to president of NextHome. Keith Robinson moved from co-CEO to president of strategy. Leo Pareja stays on as CEO of eXp Realty. Here's the part agents need to hold on to. eXp didn't absorb NextHome. NextHome didn't disappear. The two brands sit side by side under the new agent parent company with separate leadership, separate compensation models, and separate brand identities. eXp Realty now runs two real estate businesses at once, a cloud brokerage and a national franchise. Which one matters to an agent depends on where that agent already sits. By the way, I'm Karrie Hill, lawyer turned realtor and co-founder of Smart Agent Alliance with eXp Realty. We help agents understand where this industry is actually going, and for the agents we sponsor, we've built a centralized agent portal with done-for-you tools, training, and resources agents can actually find and use. And because we're also part of the Wolfpack sponsor team, our agents get both value stacks all organized in one place at no cost to them. For real, I'm not kidding about all of that. Anyway, back to this acquisition. 3 different agents are watching this deal right now. One is already at eXp, one is already at NextHome, and one is comparing both. Each has a different question to answer. If you're an eXp agent, when a parent company adds a new brand, agents inside the original brand usually want to know one thing first: whether their own deal just changed. For current eXp agents, the day-to-day model didn't move. The cap, commission split, revenue share, equity, cloud campus, sponsor relationships, and the agent tools, none of that is going to be replaced by NextHome, and none of it was rewritten by the ticker change from EXPI to agent. What did change is the story eXp can now tell. Before this deal, eXp had one answer for everyone. If you wanted to be part of the company, you joined the cloud-based brokerage. That was the only door. Now there are 2 doors. A broker owner who wants a physical office, a local franchise identity, and a traditional brand structure can go to NextHome. An agent who wants the cloud model, revenue share, and equity can go to eXp. Both choices feed the same parent company. Competitive positioning. With Real buying Remax and Compass buying Anywhere, every major player is consolidating. eXp Realty now has a multi-model platform that competes on both fronts at the same time. eXp agents who recruit can point to that. Referral reach. Both brands say they'll share a cross-brand referral network. If that's executed cleanly, eXp agents gain access to NextHome's 500 franchise offices for referrals, and the inbound from those offices flows in the other direction. That's a real expansion of the pipeline an eXp Realty agent already has, which is quite substantial, but we'll see if that all works out anyway. If you're a NextHome agent, When a smaller brand gets acquired by a larger public company, agents inside the smaller brand usually overreact in one of two directions. They panic, or they assume nothing will change. The truthful answer sits between those two reactions. Day 1, nothing changed inside the office. The split, cap, fees, broker-owner relationship, all still the same. The franchise model is still the model. Local broker owners still own their offices. What changed is what sits behind NextHome now. NextHome agents are connected to a public parent company. That parent has no long-term debt, significant cash reserves, and operations in more than 30 countries. Technology. eXp's backend handles a high volume of over 30,000 transactions every month with broker review, fast closing, and quick agent pay. As integration happens over time, NextHome offices may gain access to pieces of that infrastructure, which runs so smoothly it's incredible. Referral network. NextHome agents pick up access to eXp's global agent network for referrals, potentially anyway. That would be a meaningful pipeline expansion for a franchise that previously operated mostly inside of its own 500 offices. Stability. A national franchise is only as strong as the parent funding its growth. NextHome's parent is now a public company with cash on hand, which removes a lot of the long-term uncertainty for franchise owners thinking about renewing or expanding. None of those benefits show up automatically. A NextHome agent who wants to know what actually changes for them needs to ask their broker owner directly what new tools are coming, what the timeline looks like, and what stays exactly the same. The press release doesn't pay commissions. The local office does. If you're choosing between them, when the same parent company owns two brokerage models, agents often assume the choice between them got easier. In this case, it got harder. Before the deal, an agent comparing eXp and NextHome was comparing two different companies. The economics, support, the structure, everything was different, and the contrast made the choice clear in either direction. Now both brands sit under the same parent, and that creates a temptation to treat them as interchangeable, but they're not. eXp Realty is a cloud-based brokerage. The split, cap, fees, revenue share, equity are standardized across the company. An agent in California has the same model as an agent in Florida. There's no local office, no franchise owner, and no separate compensation to negotiate. The strength is consistency. The trade-off is that the brokerage is virtual. NextHome is a franchise. Each office is owned by a local broker owner who runs their own business. That means the split, the cap, the fees, the training, the lead systems, and the culture can vary from one NextHome office to the next. The strength is the local presence and a traditional brand experience. The trade-off is that the agent has to evaluate the specific office, not just the brand. So the right comparison isn't eXp Realty versus NextHome, it's the cloud brokerage model versus the franchise model. And inside the franchise model, it's also this specific NextHome office versus that one. Agents making this comparison should ask the same questions either way. What was the split? Is there a cap? What are the monthly fees, transaction fees, referral fees? Who pays the E&O insurance? What does the technology include? What training is actually delivered, not just advertised? And what happens after the agent caps? A brand on the door doesn't pay an agent. The structure inside the door does. The bigger signal. When two industry leaders who've been publicly aligned on a controversial issue end up at the same company, the deal is also a statement. Here's what agents at eXp-owned brands should expect going forward. Their company just took a clear public side in the loudest fight in the residential real estate market right now. James Dwiggins, who ran Nextdoor, has been one of the most outspoken brokerage leaders against private listings, the practice of marketing homes outside of the MLS. not the true ones where people are never on the MLS, but the ones that start out as a private listing and then, as it happens, because 95% of them it happens to, they move to the MLS. That's the issue. Kind of like the fake private market. Anyway, Leo Pareja, CEO of eXp Realty, has been just as vocal against those private listings. Both have publicly criticized Compass and other companies that have pushed harder on private and pre-market listing strategies. Now, they run the two brands inside of the same publicly traded company. Dwiggins said publicly that of every real estate company he looked at, eXp Realty aligned with NextHome the most, and he specifically named consumer transparency as one of the reasons. That gives eXp Realty a clear position in an industry argument that's only going to get louder. As more brokerages push for private listing networks, eXp Realty is publicly standing on the opposite side. Agents at either brand should expect their company to keep that posture and should expect the consumer transparency angle to become a bigger part of how eXp Realty talks about itself going forward. The eXp Realty NextHome acquisition isn't a brokerage swap. It's a parent company building two models at once and taking a public position on where the industry is headed. Agents at either brand should ask their leadership what actually changes, and agents comparing the two should compare the structures, not the logos. If you're tracking how the industry is consolidating, hit subscribe so the next analysis lands when it publishes. And for a wider context on Real, Remax, Compass, and Anywhere, that consolidation video is on screen. And if you're thinking about your own move, the brokerage switching pitfalls video is next to it. Thank you for watching and have a great day.